Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on the time zone you are. I'm Cecilia Silva from Angola, and I am a co-chair of the Adaptation Committee. Thank you all for attending this year's TEP-A.
Hello everyone, I'm Alessandra Sgobbi and I am one of the co-chairs of the Adaptation Committee. On behalf of the Adaptation Committee, we're very excited to officially launch today the 2020 Technical Examination Process on Adaptation, or TEP-A. The topic this year is Education and Training, Public Participation and Youth to Enhance Adaptation Action. So thank you for tuning in and get ready to see the UNFCCC as you've never seen before. But before we get into the details, we are pleased to have the chairs of the subsidiary bodies joining us for this short video message.
Hello, I'm Ambassador Tosim Panum, Chair of the Subsidiary Body for Scientific and Technological Advice. Together with my colleague Marianne Carlson, Chair of the Subsidiary Body for Implementation, we have organized the June Momentum series to underscore the importance of keeping up momentum on climate action. The June Momentum series is also intended to open a space for parties and other stakeholders in order to continue the conversations on adaptation, mitigation, and all other dimensions of climate action. We are thrilled that the TEP-A will offer one such space over the coming months to dive into the issue of education and training, public participation, and the youth to enhance adaptation action. Alessandra, Cecilia, over to you.
The TEP-A was established in 2015 with a simple objective of helping parties and the practitioners to identify solutions for enhanced climate change, adaptation knowledge, and implementation. The TEP-A has been designed as a very collaborative process, and this is its unique strength. The Adaptation Committee partners with the subsidiary bodies and the high-level climate champions designed the TEP-A, and expert organizations volunteered to organize. The participation of policymakers, experts, stakeholders, and organizations from around the world makes the TEP-A possible. This year's topic, Education and Training, Public Participation and Youth to Enhance Adaptation Action, is the response of the Adaptation Committee to the unprecedented global wave of youth and public mobilization for climate action around the world. Young people and the public have a huge potential to contribute to adaptation efforts, and in fact already are. In line with the innovation that by definition youth and education bring about, this year the TEP-A includes a multitude of modalities: virtual panel discussions, workshops, a series of policy briefs, video messages, and more. It also includes an art competition and a policy case competition, all leading to the final event in October this year. In this way, the TEP-A will not only provide a space to discuss the role of youth and public participation for climate change resilience. It will also involve young people and shine a light on their ingenuity and great potential to pioneer solutions to the challenges of climate change. So, stay tuned until the end of the video, when the subsidiary body chairs will announce the prize for the policy case competition. Thank you.
So what should you expect from this year's TEP-A process? We will be working with fantastic organizations that have volunteered to help us organize and deliver interactive talks to uncover insights to accelerate adaptation action in a manner that is more inclusive and more impactful. This year's TEP-A will take place primarily online. The use of virtual tools will enable us to tap into public expertise and experience in a much more effective way than ever before. We will not only initiate discussions, we will also jointly develop instruments and tools to capture the key messages and lessons learned, as well as leading examples emerging from the TEP-A. We will be looking at questions like how do we better engage young people in delivering climate change adaptation and in decision making, or how can policymakers facilitate public participation to adapt to the impacts of climate change, or how do we design education and training programs that foster and boost adaptive capacity. Whether you are an expert in the areas of adaptation, public engagement, youth mobilization, or whether you're just looking to learn something new, we invite you to join us as we explore the topics of training and education, public participation, and youth, and to make use of the tools that we will jointly develop. So keep an eye on the TEP-A webpage and on the Adaptation Exchange Facebook page to see the details on how you can engage.
Climate change is already affecting our lives. In particular, the livelihoods of the poorest and most vulnerable. So we need to harness the power of education and training to help people, communities and countries across the world to strengthen their resilience to climate impacts. We look forward to the many events and initiatives taking place during this year's technical expert meeting on adaptation. And we encourage everyone to take the opportunity to participate in this global conversation and to share insights and ideas.
As we combat the COVID-19 pandemic, we have to live with the reality that by 2050, more than 9 billion people will inhabit this planet, out of which over 50% are going to be young people under the age of 25. For young people, climate crisis is a matter of intergenerational justice. Those that have often contributed least to the problem are the ones suffering the maximum impacts. This includes young people from the frontline communities, from the small and developing states, from the least developing countries. And it is where the role of climate change adaptation to educate, empower, and strengthen young people as agents of change on climate action becomes so important.
As we know, now more than ever, the youth have an essential role in shaping the climate movement and political agenda, but adaptation is not yet a priority. The need of the hour is to mainstream adaptation and adaptation solutions in the global narrative.
Last year, the release of the Adapt for Our Future background paper made evident that youth are leading on adaptation through initiatives in policy, entrepreneurship, and research. Governments and international organizations stand to benefit greatly if they support and build on this work. If the needs of future generations are to be met, young people must be engaged in a meaningful way in the design and implementation of adaptation policies and programs.
UNFCCC's technical examination process, or TEP-A, provides this unique platform for parties and observers, including children and youth, indigenous people, research and academia, private sector, and a range of non-party stakeholders to come together and formulate strong and effective climate adaptation strategies.
As the Youngo Adaptation Working Group, engaging in the 2020 technical expert process on adaptation presents for us an unmissable opportunity to make this a reality. Acknowledging that education and training and public participation are also essential for sustainable and impactful adaptation actions. We are already bearing witness to the impacts of climate change, particularly those from the Global South and Indigenous communities. Adaptation can't wait. Ambition must be raised and it must be synergized with action on mitigation. In line with the need for just green recovery post-COVID-19, we hope the TEP-A process fosters action to enhance the resilience of the most vulnerable through a truly inclusive approach that leaves no one behind.
We urge you, young people from all walks of lives, students, entrepreneurs, civil servants, farmers, civil society representatives, and all others to join the discussions, participate in the competitions, and to help shape the outcomes of the 2020 TEP-A. You have demonstrated your capacity to serve as agents of change in the combat against climate change, and we look forward to support you in this role throughout the TEP-A. And finally, if you join the case competition, the winner will be sent to COP26, where you will be given the space to share your ideas and amplify your message, and to connect to scientists, business leaders, governments, civil society representatives, and many others from different parts of the world working to advance action on adaptation. Don't miss this opportunity to showcase your creativity and interact with some of the world leaders on climate change. Thank you.